This is the video of Rocky. He is our 10-year-old 14-2 Kentucky Mountain red roan gaited horse. He's a 4-beat racking horse. And if you whistle for him from the barn, he will come over to the mountain block. She'll square him up there. He does expect his cookie though if he comes from that far. Rocky stands 14-2. He is good for an intermediate rider or above. Once he's out on the trail and you've been going for just a minute, probably could put a little kid on him. But just around the barn when you first get on, if he's been standing in a stall, just need someone that knows the basics, has some confidence. So, but as you're going to see, it's not because of anything bad he does. It's just maybe he's got a little more go than a bomb-proof horse. So I won't call him for a complete beginner. We're going to let Kristen walk him off so you can see his flat walk away from the barn by himself. That's always so important. The wind is whipping and I have a little bit of a cold, so I may sound like I've got a frog in my throat. Everything going around. I did that try test, of course, for the flu A, the flu B, and the COVID, and I had none of it, and no fever, so praying to goodness it's just allergies or sinuses. Alright, we're going to take him to the pavement, let you hear all the pretty stuff he does. Here comes Rocky doing his flat walk. As you know, this is my favorite time to video because of the way that the sun is, but I didn't plan it today, just the way it fell. The girls have been getting pictures of the studs for breeding. It's been warm all this week, so it was actually warm enough to give horses a bath, and that's one thing. Last week we saw single digit and teens, so welcome to Kentucky. Put on your bathing suit, finish off with your coveralls and gloves, and you can just take things off if the weather changes. Rocky has a big walk on him. He actually can walk every bit as fast as my 15-1 Tennessee Walker that has a really deep strides. I mean, this guy can really flat walk. All right, we're going to get him gaiting coming back. All right, guys, listen closely. This is what you pay for. Very, very nice. Let's go do some trail riding. Here is little Rocky as we are coming up on him. I am not zoomed in, and we're on the big diesel side by side, so this one makes all the noise. True story, my mom bought a brand new Coyote diesel side by side, and all the horses had never been around anything but the golf carts, and they are all completely freaked out by it. So she didn't use it, not one time for videoing. And when she passed away, it was still like brand new. It was 2-year-old, but it looked brand spanking new. And I sold it because she didn't want to use it, and I wish I'd have kept the dang thing. These diesels, you can't kill them. And you know what? They get used to it. And then that's one less thing you have to worry about. Think about it, you can get a horse used to things coming at them or coming up behind them. Some horses will never ever tolerate it. They've had a bad experience, and it's just something you're always going to have to hang on, and you know it. But you won't get that from us. Look at what we call a colt. Sitting down the road. And the good news is we get very few that are like that. One good thing you can notice, he's walking away from all the horses that are out in the field. Showing no excitement or need to stay with them or refusal to go. We got a new champagne and white. We just rode for the first time the other day because we're putting weight on him. He's stunningly beautiful. And we walked him by 2 pairs out in the field, and he decided he needed to be with them. He stopped, and Gage was kicking him, and he was like, nope, I'm staying right here with my girlfriends. When he leaves here, he will go anywhere we ask him to go. And he's a young'un, green growth. Alright, we're going to cross this creek. Show you how he does when he crosses water and goes up and down steep, muddy, slick banks. comes Rocky to go into the first creek. Again, this one is really deep, steep. It's kind of gone straight down into the ground, and the horses don't have good depth perception. If you ever wonder why sometimes they won't go through a ditch, it's because they don't have good depth perception. They don't understand where it ends. So where you know that that's probably only 2 or 3 inches, for all they know, they're going to sink all the way to hell. And in their very dramatic pea brains some days, that's exactly what they think is happening. So we expand their brains and teach them that if we ask you to go, you're not going to fall to your death, or at least we're really hoping not, because we're on them. We have taken this guy to Wranglers. I've also got that video on YouTube. Lots of video of him leaving the group, going up and down big gullies, taking his own pass, making his own pass. He led the pack most of that day, but then again, I was on Gambler. Poor little old 14-hand Gambler. He ain't in any hurry to do anything. And a friend of ours was riding Maverick, so he's pretty slow too. So he was by far the fastest horse that day. She's going to get him gaiting, heading over to the second creek. It is all about footing and agility. It's a great stumbling block because they're on these big riprap rocks that move underneath their feet, and they're trying to keep their footing. And one thing you don't want is a horse that's constantly stumbling. That's one of the most dangerous things you can have. Everybody stumbles every once in a while, but if one keeps stumbling, eventually it's going to get down and you're on it. One thing you can do if you notice your horse stumbling a lot, your toe may be too long. So check with your farrier or your vet and make sure that the horse is shod correctly before you just get rid of it. Alright, we're going to go to the second creek. Here comes Rocky heading to the second creek. Got dogs in tow. You all know if they come from this farm, they are very dog broke. Normally this creek doesn't have water in it, but we've had so much flooding it actually has a little. During the flood it rages like a river. Perfect time of day to video a beautiful, beautiful horse. What a good boy. Alright, we're going to video him going back to the barn doing some gaiting. Here's Rocky gaiting, heading back towards the barn. We're going to get his canter as well so you can see him do that. This is the horse that the first time that we had him, and the lady had him for 5 years. Her husband had surgery. He didn't get ridden for over a year. She sent him to somebody just to put 30 days on him and then sent him to us. We worked with him for quite a while. I don't know if you guys can hear the tree frogs, but they are definitely singing. Alright, we're going to head on back to the barn, get his canter, and see a few more things he does. Boy can tear up some ground. Rocky giving feet. He does have shoes all the way around, but he has great feet. The only reason he has shoes all the way around here, it's extremely rocky. And where we like to ride a lot, whether it's the Garden of the Gods in Southern Illinois or Wrangler's Camp, there's not just rocks, there's big, huge, really sharp rocks almost everywhere. We don't have sand here, so we have to keep them shod if we trail ride them much. But if you're in a sandy area or a muddy area where you don't have any rocks, all he needs to be is trimmed. All right, we're going to load and unload him. All right, we are going to load and unload Mr. Rocky. You like it when they load themselves and take themselves to the mounting block. I can't believe this guy isn't sold. I know I started him at 5,500 and I reduced him to 5,000. Maybe I should have started at 5,000, but for his color, his age, his experience. That is Rocky. 14.2, 10-year-old Rocky Mountain. I did have him as aged at 8 before, but he is 10. And we know that because he was only 5 or 6 when we sold him the first time. So he will be 11 sometime here in 2025. And I just did not have my age right. So that is my fault completely. He is 10 years old. He is a Sabino red roan. His price is $5,000. He is at G&G Flat Shod Farms. Come meet him, ride him, and fall in love. Now we are just now leaving camp, and I am on Gambler. Gambler is sold. I'm actually making this video for his new mom. This is just leaving camp. I'm in the very back. He could care less. I do not have the reins. So if they're going to be fresh, they're going to be fresh in a new place, and they're going to be fresh when you first get going. And the freshest that he is he's got a little bit faster walk than he normally has. He's kind of doing what we used to call a show walk in the show rink. Up front is Rocky, and just behind Rocky is a 16-hand black and white Tennessee Walker named Maverick. Rocky and Maverick are both for sale, but that is a nice neighbor lady of ours named Christy that is riding him right now. Trying him out. Here at Wrangler, she has a permanent site. I love it when local people come that I actually know. And, of course, we become friends with everybody that comes to the farm. I mean, I'm kind of one of those people, unless you're just mean, I love you. That's why I do real estate and have a boutique and horses, because I love people. If you don't love people, this is not a good business to be in. Just own your own horses and hang out with them. That's for people who don't like people. However, I do like my horses probably better than most people. Alright, we'll do some more video as we go along and see some stuff. Right now we're just seeing camp, which is kind of slow right now. I mean, it's just February 2nd or 3rd today. Might be the 3rd. So people haven't really started getting here yet, but day ride was pretty full because it's going to be 73 degrees, sunshine, and a light breeze. So it definitely feels like spring. Going by Kentucky Lake. Actually, this is probably Barkley Lake, but all merges together at the dam. Got Maverick, our stud horse, gaiting off. Nice and purty. Mr. Rocky in front of me. Still on Gambler. We're probably about 10-15 minutes into our ride. Beautiful day at Wrangler. It's going to be 73 degrees on February the 3rd. You cannot beat that weather. I am on the runaway gambler, not even touching the reins. Maverick, she has taken him different directions from us, put him in the very back, put him in the very front, gated off from us. Literally, the trail went one way and we went that way, and she just took off the other direction. It's gone through water, mud, drank on the trail. So you just got to learn how to back off a trailer. Video of Mr. Rocky out on the trail. Here we are, probably about a quarter of the way down the trail. Gambler has not even broke a sweat, which is kind of surprising because he's got quite the winter coat. He says, I'm doing just great. We've got Christy on Maverick, our 16-hand stud horse, guys. He is a stud horse. He never got the memo, but he has had some gorgeous babies. And I mean gorgeous babies. He had one silver garula looking, a buckskin and white, black and white, and another black cropped out. Just beautiful babies. She doesn't take him. He is $5,500. He is available, and I have sent off his DNA to see if he is registered. Lab emailed me not yesterday, but Friday, and told me they've received it, and they're just waiting on the results. You're fine. She's trying taking him off by himself. And you can see as she is doing that these two are standing here being good boys. Rocky and Gambler. And more video of Rocky and Maverick. Maverick, 8-year-old, 16-hand stud horse. Rocky, he is about a 10-year-old Rocky Mountain. He is a red roan with flax mane and tail, and he is a sabino. This means he's got the high stockings, wider blaze. Black and white is almost a Tavero. That's between a Tobiano and an Overo. We have one that looked a whole lot like him that was sold not long ago named Tango. And he was a Tavero. I'm going to say that this guy still would count as a Tobiano. But we're going to find out very soon if he's registered Tennessee Walker. But if he's not, he still can be registered as gaited, and he can also be registered as Sheba. That is the Spotted Saddle Horse Association. If he's not registered TWEBA, he would not be able to be registered NSSHA, which is National Spotted Saddle. For that, you got to have DNA. Little Gambler gaiting. I'm not holding the reins. He's a great video horse. He's got short legs and he can't be in the front anyway, so you're back here, you might as well do some videos. You ain't gonna walk with that 16-hand horse. It is a beautiful day at Wranglers all around Kentucky Lake. This is called the Lake Trail. Video of Rocky taking the high road. Kristen's making her own trails today. I like it when they leave the group without a fuss, go and do their own thing. It just shows you that they're individually minded. They are thinking for themselves. They're not just following. Rent-a-horses. That's what me and Mom used to call them. Rent-a-horses. And they're usually your most gentle horses. But they're usually also going to be barn sour, and they're not going to leave the other horses. Don't you just see how far behind I am? Gambler just now, he's like, oh man, they're gone. So he's decided he'd like to gate a little bit now. He literally could care less where everybody's at until they're completely out of sight. And then the worst thing he's going to want to do is gate. Gambler says, my friends, my friends. He's still way behind, and now he's back to just dog walking. Now that's a heel. We are cowgirls today. Well, these two are. I think I could be, what is that song? I was cross-eyed drunk with a bear, you've been there. Old Dominion, I was on a boat that day. I could be that girl. I don't have any alcohol, but you know. I'll see if I can get that one behind me. Maybe. Maybe. There are the boys up front and the boy in the back. Believe it or not, Christy just took Maverick over a culvert. It's the same culvert that my husband was on my mom's horse trouble. And he had seen that culvert 1,000 times. And we were over here and he saw it. He spun one way, spun the other, did a jump. My husband ended up on the ground. And it was so ridiculous because, again, Trouble had seen that culvert 1,000 times. Well, Maverick just saw it for the first time, and she took him up to let him smell of it, and then she had him walk over the culvert. It's just a big one laying on the side of the trail. It's not under anything, so it's something they don't expect to see. If the sun hits it just right, you know, it shines and the light bounces off. And I just don't really understand what sometimes the horse's perception is. Good gaiting video. We are back to camp. Gambler finally broke a little bit of a sweat there. Everybody says, where's my friend? Here's Christy on Maverick. We are back to camp, and those are the rental horses that you see in the background. So if you come to Wrangler's Camp and you don't have your own horse, there are trail guides here, and you can pay to ride one of theirs, and they will take you on a really nice trail ride. I love that. I get people that call me a lot wanting to come ride one of my horses and us go trail riding, and they have no interest in buying. They just want to ride, and we don't do that. I think you've got to keep the same horses. That's the first time he's tripped all day. You have to keep the same horses, in my opinion, and know exactly what they're going to do in order for that to work. That deep stride he's got, it's just crazy how deep it is. Oop, too far, too much. What do my girls say? Too spicy, too many slices. Hard to believe this guy's a stud horse. Christy said a while ago, I think you could put kids on this horse. I know you could. He's riding in a snaffle colt bit, and he's a stud horse. Very, very nice. And they all say hi. Hi, Gambler. Hi, Gambler. Gambler did so good today. He's such a good boy. Very nice.